Hey everybody, Questwise here, and today, as promised, we're going to be taking a look at these trading cards from 1991, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. Let's head on down to the library and take a look. Hey everybody, Questwise, thanks for joining me at the Arcane Library down here. If you like this playmat, by the way, I will put a link down below in the notes of where you can get this, n3art.com, but I'll put a link to this specific. You can get this very playmat as well. I have a few others of Nolan's art on playmats as well that I take with me to conventions and all sorts of games. But today we are here to talk about this. And I showed you this last week when we were talking about our exploration of reviving the old ways and our dive into Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. And I told you this was what I thought was the coolest gaming product ever created by anyone of all time. And so this is why. Here's a look at the outside of the box. Like I said, there's a few others of these. I think there's a 92 and a 1993 edition as well too. But this is the 1991 edition. This is actually the second set that I've owned. The first set kind of went by the wayside. I'm not sure what happened to it. But I will show you the two cards that I had remaining. I talked to you last week about how I got those signed by Larry Elmore, and I'll show those to you at the end of the video. But let's take a look at this box. Like I said, this box has seen probably better days. Looks like they retailed for $24.95 originally, and there are 750 cards in this box. So let's take a look at the inside. Now, this is a great part about this, is the inside of this. Here they all are. When I got these, they were pretty much untouched. This is how they come. They were cellophane wrapped on the outside originally, but the cards are just kind of free floating inside here. Now let me show you what's so cool and unique about these cards. So here we have an example of a couple here as well. Let me just, oh, there's some really bad glare there. I'll hold these up one by one. So this is the kind of quality of art that you're going to find on these cards. Some are better than others. Words, they work. This is typical of what you can find for a character card. This is Drachamore. Up here it just tells you 2nd edition. This symbol denotes that he's a character with the artwork in the middle of this, but very much like a baseball card size shape and that texture feel. And on the back here are all the stats for 2nd edition. This is what I think was amazing, because you could put these cards, in a sleeve or something, or what I used to use was Scrabble trays, where you put the letters for Scrabble into. I could turn them around and have them facing so that the players could actually see the character or creature that they are interacting with, and I could quickly pull it up and reference the stats in the back. So you have everything from the race, their armor class, their THAC0, their movement, the equipment that they would use, their alignment, and then a little background about each one. And they were all numbered. They were a trading card set, so originally you find them in like little boosters. Now, they're not just all sort of generic like this. You're going to see some pretty big recognizable names and stuff in there as well. So we've got Elminster, of course, with the Forgotten Realms logo. And again, his stat 26 level wizard. Number 600 of 750. A little bit about him. Now, they're not full details on the back of what you're going to find, but it's a nice quick reference of what you can expect, and it's really great at a gaming table because it's really all you need. If you need more reference, you can look these things up, but this is really, really great to have. Warden Kanan, again, Greyhawk, and 20th level wizard. Of course, he's part of the Circle of 8. Gives you a little bit of talk about that Circle of 8. But you're not just going to find big, major, famous names like Elminster and stuff. You're also going to have this guy, Ramsey. Great artwork. I believe this is Larry Elmore art as well too. Again, just generic 2nd edition. This can be used in just about any setting that you want. And again, stuff on the back. So this is a good sort of show you that like this was just a piece of artwork that they just created a persona for. So here you've got a ready built 9th level NPC with background and everything to kind of build into a full adventure of how you would like to see. Now, not just Greyhawk and Forgotten Realms, they covered all of the worlds that were currently available. So here we have Spelljammer, we have Captain Hamar, and stats for her on the back as well too. All right, so not just the base worlds, but we had Spelljammer and all, Ravenloft and Dark Sun and stuff as well. Then you had just generic creatures and stuff in there as well too. Now you had named monsters as well. There were some dragons and stuff as well. But here's a goblin. Artwork on this pretty generic. You can denote that it's a creature by the little dragon symbol down here. But again, something you're going to find in just about every world. On the back, basic stats for a goblin, right? Great stuff. A little description about what goblins are. Dryad. I said some of the artwork was better than others on some of these. They're all very functional, but the cards themselves are beautiful. The quality of the card stock and stuff, it just holds up really well, like baseball cards. The ghoul. And then you also had special magic items, and those are denoted by little weapons in the corner. So Amulet of Life Protection. And again, if they were specific to a setting, they would be set up here on the back. XP value, usable by, description. Really, really simple, really, really cool. Like I said, these are probably the most useful things I have ever seen as a gaming product ever before. Elixir of Youth. On the back, XP value, usable by. Quaffing this rare and potent elixir will reverse aging. Taking the full potion at once reduces the imbibers of age by 1d4 plus 1 years. Yeah, cool stuff. Very, very cool. So you can just have these ready, planning your adventure, or you could just separate these out by, magic item, and by, how much they're worth, and just randomly draw one if you need one for an adventure. Very, very cool stuff. And then last but not least, these are the 2 cards that are kind of the crown of mine. Now I have doubles of these because it's in the set. Like I said, these were from my original set. And these are the only 2 I had left. Dred Stewart and Wolfgar, right? The famous duo. These are the only 2 I had left from the original set. And I've always had these sort of on the shelf in protectors. I took these to Gary Con this last March and had Mr. Elmore sign them. We had an amazing talk as well too, in the famous, Elmore signature done across the card, and I stuck them back in the plastic, and these now sit on the shelf separate. I have better protectors than these. They're just kind of the ones I travel with, but I do have some hard plastic, screw down ones that are meant for archiving cards and stuff as well too. But this product, these cards, I spent so much time with these things and just poring over them. And the great thing was that I would just kind of go through too as well, and be like, and I could build adventures from just looking at these cards. I take the ones that I thought were really cool. I'm like, okay, how can I build an adventure around Ramsey? I think this guy looks really cool. Let's read about him. Let's see what he says. Ramsey was a loner for many years until it happened at a festival, a small village, one of his journeys. He watched a sword contest with great interest because a woman named Mavis, who also has a card as well too, won the contest, caught and held his attention. He introduced himself and complimented her abilities. They were married 1 week later. All right. And so this general background, I'm like, okay, how can I fit these characters, Ramsey and Mavis, into an adventure? And how can I make them NPCs into a much larger world? And so these became a great product for being able to build adventures and to have, visual representations. You can just give this to one of the players. Hey, you found an Elixir of Youth, and they can have this as a reference in front of them. And I love this. And like I said, Gale Force 9's been doing some of the cards of items and monsters and stuff, and I just feel like these are so much better. And I wish that someone would go back and kind of recreate this style. I just feel like this is much more beautiful. The representation is much, the way that the card is laid out just seems a lot better. Now the quality of the Gale Force 9 ones I think are maybe a little bit better than these, because they're like laminated, so you can actually, like, write on them, and you get something spilled on them, it's not gonna damage them as much, because these are, like I said, these are just baseball card kind of style, so any kind of damage, water, it's going to destroy these things very, very quickly. But just the layout of these is really, really well done, and I think this is an amazing product. So there's my look at these, and next week when we take a look at character creation, we'll come back down to the Arcane Library, and we'll show you how to make a character very quickly. And I've been practicing with some of that, different character races, different character classes, to see how quickly they can be built. And with straight out of the main core rulebook, it goes pretty quickly. But then I'm also going to show you some of my adventure design in the following week of how we're going to put together just a beginning adventure using the core rulebook, the Game Master's Guide, and these. I also show you the Monster Manual. Now, the way the Monster Manual used to be presented, it used to come in a 3-ring binder, and you could buy supplements that would just slip into, they were already pre-punched. But in the later days, they started to come out with actually bound books of the Monster Manual. But I'm going to show you how to create an adventure by using the cards alone, in tandem with the Monster Manual as well, too. So I hope you've enjoyed this, our foray back into 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. And until next time, I'm Questwise, and I am out.